All right, welcome back. This is Sunday was Palm Sunday, so we are into Easter week. This coming Sunday will be Easter. We'll be closed Friday for Good Friday. Such a wonderful time. I hope the weather will hold out for us. But just a time of hope and time of family to get together and just understand what the reason for this time is. And ultimately it's all about hope. And I wanted to talk with you. We'll probably split this into two parts. But I've been asked so many times, how do you, I'm interested in being a prosecutor. How do I do that? First of all, our office, we've got about 130 employees. So there's a lot of opportunities at the solicitor's office, some of which, of course, are prosecutors. Some are paralegals. We've got drug court, mental health court. We've got working with juveniles, arbitrators, just so many different investigators, so many different options out there. But as far as the prosecutor goes, you would have to go to undergrad, Clemson, Carolina, Coastal, Elon, there's 100 of those around. And you would have to have somewhere around, at the end of it, a 3.6, a 3.7, maybe 3.5. It's got to be a pretty high grade because you've got to be able to get into law school, and they're not, I think they're right under 200 throughout the United States. In South Carolina, there is University of South Carolina has a law school, and Charleston. Now we got 5 million citizens going into 2 law schools, so that's where it kind of gets dicey. That's why I'm saying at least somewhere around a 3.5 or a 3.6 to get in. Plus you have to take entrance exam, and it's known as the LSAT. We've all took the SAT to get into college. The LSAT is probably the worst test that I've taken, including all of the bar exams and law school classes. It's tough. The LSAT is a lot about logic, a lot about reading comprehension, but it's a time test. And it's one of those that if you had all day, you could sit there and do really well on it. But you've got to be a halfway decent test taker, or what very few people do is you can get a tutor. That is one test that you could really improve your score on, because it's more about test taking than it is about general knowledge. I explain the best way I can explain it to you is to say, when you first start off doing crossword puzzles, it's really, really difficult. But then after 2 or 3 or 4 years, you can almost fill the thing out in a minute. I mean, it's just the same questions kind of keep repeating, and you build off of that knowledge. So any advice that I would have is for the LSAT is to start early, start really early, maybe your second year in college, and just do test after test after test until it becomes second nature, because you'll have to take this sometime, towards your senior year of college, or maybe even your junior year of college. But you could take it at any time. It's just when you get ready to go into law school, and that score is going to have to be somewhere in the 150s. You may be able to get in out of state to something in the high 140s, but I don't know how to explain this, but the difference between 150 and 155 is astronomical. It's only 4 points, but it's it's a big 4 points. So now you've gone to 4 years of undergrad, you've taken the LSAT. If you're going to stay in state, you've got to go to either South Carolina or Charleston School of Law. North Carolina's got probably 6 law schools. Virginia's got 5 or 6 law schools, and Georgia's got several. But South Carolina's only got 2. So if you're going to stay in state, and the reason to stay in state is to keep the prices down, you're going to have a good enough LSAT plus undergraduate cumulative GPA to get in. And you're going forward with people that are also interested in law school, so they're going to have pretty high grades. You got 4 years of undergrad, then you got 3 years of law school. And in law school, every place is a little different, but generally the first year you're going to be looking at very wide open classes like property and contracts and civil procedure and criminal law, family law, those same courses that are constitutional law that everybody would take. Then the second and third year you sort of branch out. First year is almost impossibly hard, or it was for me. I was the first person in our family to go to law school. It took a whole different style of reading for me, just real tough. But if you get through the first year, the second year and third year is pretty easy. First year, I think they're just trying to weed you out. So you get through it, all of that, and then you've got the bar exam, and you've got to take a bar exam for, that part has changed. Now it's a universal bar exam that counts for 20-some different states. So if you pass, you could apply for membership in any of those 20 states. North Carolina and South Carolina take that UBE, or Uniform Bar Exam, so you could get barred in both states. Just by passing it doesn't mean you're barred in both states. You would still have to go get sworn in both states and pay dues in both states. So, it's up to you if you wanted to do that. All right, today is going to be a little unusual. We are going to split this into 2 parts because there's a lot to talk about. So this week, and I know you're not going to watch for 10 minutes, so we'll split it into, say, 5 minutes and 5 minutes. This part will be part 1, and then next week we'll show part 2.